familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hey guys, I'm Tyler Mannix. I'm here in South Africa and I'm doing a deck profile, or actually two, for my friend Nicholas from Jinzo&Tonic. So yeah, I'll be showcasing two deck profiles today. And the first one I'm going to be doing is hand control. So it runs normal control chaos engine. I don't splash 3 sorcerers because I think 2 is more than enough. I don't think that almost any chaos control engine, well, I mean, yeah, chaos engine should play more than this because it just breaks. This is just during my experience, but yeah, I think 3 boss chaos monsters good enough. This is actually, as I said, hand control. It's not like any kind of like explosive chaos deck, but it's not exactly goat control either. And we're running 1 copy of Mobius. Mobius is really nice for hitting back rows, crashing with Jinzos. I've decided to try Mobius rather than Jinzo because it does out spell and traps as well, and sometimes you can play against those players who kind of sit on conservative traps and they end up having the answers for later after they out the Jinzo. I prefer Mobius because he does put pressure on your opponent and force answers now. Next I'm running triple Thunder Dragon. This is mainly to keep your hand advantage up. We play multiple cards for discarding, and yeah, you can also defend against, it's a natural defense to Delinquent Duo, and this deck also plays card destruction, so you need this in here. It's also great for pumping light monsters into your graveyard to start fueling your Chaos Engine. Next we're playing 1 copy of Breaker. Summon Breaker, pop a spell, and move on. He's pretty good. He's also great for beating over things. Actually, such an awesome, versatile card. I'm sad that he's at 1, but I'm glad that he's here for this format. Next, I run triple Dekoichi. This card gives you pretty much almost all the hand advantage. We do loop it with this card, which we play 1 of, by the way. And I actually almost view this like a Sangan because this card kind of you can fearlessly run into Mirror Forces and Torrentials with this card and it'll be okay because by the time you flipped it face up, it's already paid for itself in card economy. This is also dark, so this is mainly your dark part of the deck. Interesting point. If this gets Nobleman of Crossout, you'd prefer Magician of Faith to get hit by a knock rather than this, because this is actually where your damage comes from. You can get the card advantage using Tsukuyomi, but I think the most important thing is the damage that comes with this guy. Sorry, I'm just gonna move a little bit faster with these ones, as a lot of them are a lot less self-explanatory. 1 copy of Tsukuyomi, outs 1000 Eyes, so it's great against goat control, and recurs your Dekoichis. 1 Sangan, searches you all the little toys. 2 copy of Night Assailant. So we use this with Graceful Charities and card destructions, and we're also playing a couple of spells and traps that require us to discard cards. So the really cool thing is, say hypothetically you discard these 2 cards at the same time, let's say with a Graceful Charity. They both hit the graveyard. Their effects to recur flip monsters. This targets this one and this targets this one. So in goat format, and I think how this card works in general is you get both to your hand. So you would activate Graceful Charity, draw 3 cards, discard these two and get these two back with their own effects. So it's literally graceful charity. With this, turns into a draw 3 cards. Spirit Reaper, great for hitting cards out of people's hands. Also great for stalling against aggro decks. I'm playing triple Magician of Faith. It's pretty important. You need, well, you'd like to recur your spells. Look, if it gets Nobleman, then it gets Nobleman. There's not much you can do about it, but yeah, 3 Faith. 1 Sinister Serpent, because we are playing hand control. The idea of the deck is to continuously keep up your hand resources. So yeah, this is literally the whole theme of the deck. And then after like turn 3 or 4, then you start you know, using your hand advantage to win. 1 copy of Snatch Steal, take away big threats. Graceful Charity and Pot of Greed, and where's the other big guy? Here we go. Delinquent Duo, Trinity. You play it and go it. Card Destruction. So when you have multiple Night Assailants, or even just one with hopefully a flip and another flip effect monster in your hand or in the graveyard, yeah, this is where you can pretty much eternalize your card advantage that you've got. If you're sitting with like Sinister Serpent, double Thunder Dragon, and double Night Assailant, you discard it. All of your entire hand becomes live, and you actually get your Night Assailants back. So you actually go +1 with card destruction if you're discarding 2 Night Assailants with it. Pretty interesting. You can also I guess you could play it against Exodia strategies. It's a little bit troll. I don't know. I guess outside of Monster Reincarnation, you can't. There's no card in Goat format where you can get the head of Exodia back. I think they have to use Monster Reincarnation. The rest, I think they can use like Backup Soldiers and Dark Factory of Mass Production, but as far as I know, those are the only cards besides Monster Reborn. But I know that the head is pretty difficult to get back from the grave, so if you discard that, you're in a good spot. Double Nobleman, pretty standard. You also need it. Most of the matchups, it's like one of the biggest cards, and it's also a card to be worried about if you are playing a deck that involves flip monsters. 1 copy of MST for Spell and Trap Destruction. And 1 Heavy Storm. These were like the 2 big threats that hit spells and traps. 2 copies of Book of Moon. Yeah, this is also a flip effect deck. This is you can use these defensively, and you can combo this with your flip effect monsters. This card is really versatile. You can dodge Snatch Steals with it. You can survive against Ring of Destruction. Really good. The theme of the deck is drawing, so we're sticking to that theme with double Upstart Goblin. Triple Phoenix Wing Blast. This was originally 1 Phoenix Wing Blast, 2 Solemn Judgments, and I was enjoying it, but I am actually now trying out triple Phoenix Wing Blast, and I'm really enjoying it, actually. Playing 3 and being able to loop Phoenix Wing Blasts, well, I mean, not loop, but like activate in consecutive order. You pretty much make sure that your opponent's draws are always dead, because you know that you know what they're going to draw. It's really powerful. This game is also a war on information, and this card can give you a lot of it, because other than Raigeki Break, you know what's coming next turn. 1 Merforce, 1 Torrential for punishing bad players. 1 Widespread Ruin, another Battle Trap, and because we're playing so many flip effects and we're aware of Nobleman of Crossheart, we play 1 Spell Shield Type 8. Alright, so I'm going to move to the next deck. So this is a, I guess you would call it a Chaos Gate, a kind of like you use anyways. I guess yeah, I'm just gonna call this a Chaos Gate deck. Yeah, so it runs these guys. This is always the chaos engine that I really enjoy when I am playing chaos decks. If I play goat control, you'll see that I switch down to this, but I at least keep the sorcerer in. Priority is awesome, and you always want to take advantage of it. This specifically needs your chaos monsters to work with this deck. And the monsters that we play are interesting, so you'll see that I'm going to present them in level order. So for the level 8s, we play Dark Magician of Chaos and the Creator. For level 6s, we play one Dark Riddle Hard Dares and one Jinzo. For level 5s, we play one Vampire Lord and one Aeronite Parsheth. For level 4s, we play triple Sacred Crane. Okay, so the main idea of this deck is that you activate Reasoning, you get your opponent to call a level. Chances are they're going to be wrong. It's going to skip past all of these, so your Chaos Monsters will get dumped, and then you land on one of these guys. Most of these are pretty okay to hit the field. You almost want to see almost any of them. In some situations, you don't really want Vampire Lord to hit the field if you're hoping that one of these guys hit the field, but for the most part, it's all pretty good. These are all the monsters that the deck plays. And yeah, moving on to the spells. One Snatch Deal. I'm actually playing one copy of Cost Down. So with this allows you to get stuff like the Creator onto the field with one tribute, which can be really powerful. Creator, by the way, I was playing Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys, but I wasn't enjoying her attributes restrictions, and sometimes she didn't perform as much as I wanted her to. The Creator is amazing because this is your second chance to use your Dark Magician of Chaos. And this also helps get Jinzos on the field without tributes, Aeronite Parsheth, so you can just straight summon while discarding your light or dark monsters that you need for your chaos monsters. That's also quite important. This deck doesn't play Delinquent Duo, it's just not focusing on that. I'd rather use that space for other cards, really. So I'm playing just Pot of Greed and Graceful Charity. MST and where is my Heavy Storm? Here it is. So MST and Heavy Storm for back row. Also playing one Brain Control, so we can Brain Control, and then we tribute the monster away for a tribute summon, or tribute it away with Monster Gate. One copy of Premature Burial. It's almost self-explanatory. You wanna special summon your monsters. This is a card that does it. It's an explosive deck. I'll showcase a little bit of a combo just now. Triple Reasoning, this and triple Monster Gate. These are like the core of your deck. This is how you get your monsters onto the field. Even if your opponent knows what monsters are in your deck and what ratios of the monsters are in your deck, it's still difficult to call Reasoning correct. So yeah, basically this card is this card, only that you don't have to sacrifice a monster first, and your opponent has to play a little guessing game with the levels. But generally the theme of this is pull out a big scary monster from your deck, and anything that can't be normal summoned like this goes to your graveyard. We plan to recur monsters like that with Monster Reincarnation. So once you have a big scary chaos monster in your graveyard, you'll go and activate Monster Reincarnation, and you'll get, for example, your BLS back. And yeah, I'll showcase that in a moment. Double Book of Moon. I've always loved this card. I think I'll always play 2 Book of Moon in almost every deck. It's incredibly versatile. Yeah. And for the same reason as the last deck, this deck also plays double Nobleman of Crossout. You have to respect the power of Magician of Faith, and this needs to be in everyone's decks for Magician of Faith, because Delinquent Duo, Flip Faith, Delinquent Duo again will wreck most people. This deck does play Scapegoats. So you flip 2 Scapegoats and then you tribute the Scapegoats away for your Monster Gates. This allows you to, one, stall, and also, you know, get food onto the field with for your Monster Gates. It's really good. You flip it in your opponent's end phase, obviously. A double-dimensional fusion. The honest truth is I don't have a third one, and I might test a third one. To be honest, I'm not looking for one because this works just fine. I would actually imagine this card clogging a little bit at 3, but yes, this is pretty much another one of the core pieces of the deck. It's quite powerful, but I will get to that very soon. This will probably be one of the cards that you mill from your graveyard. Mill into your graveyard when you play one of these or one of these. Let me just pull that aside for later. Cool. Lightning Vortex. When your opponent pushes against you, this is one card to punish them. I love cards like this, which is why I'm also playing Torrential and Mirror Force. Punishes bad players, players that overextend. It's perfect. 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Ring of Destruction. Interesting note, most of the monsters in this deck are amazing Call of the Haunted targets. I think Dark Magician of Chaos might miss timing. I do need to double check this. I think he does miss timing, but all of these, if your opponent activates Mystical Space Typhoon while this is set, then you just chain, bring back any of these. If this hits the field, then you draw a card, and if this hits the field, then he stays on the field, because he hits the field, he negates this dies. So this is negated, so this can't kill Jinzo. It's a little bit of a weird ruling, but yeah, he's now a walking corpse fresh onto the field. Okay, so let's say I activate Reasoning, my opponent calls 6, and then all of a sudden this guy hits the field, drawing me a card, right? So I draw X card. Cool, I can then go and sacrifice the card for Monster Gate. Obviously just like showcasing you like what this deck will do. This deck will probably mull some stuff like one of these. I guess hopefully one of these. Let's see, and then you'll probably land on this. Dark Magician of Chaos hits the field, gets Dimension Fusion back. So you can your opponent could call this right, and then he just hits the graveyard, and then you Premature Burial or Call of the Haunted him back. But for the most part, what you want to happen in this deck is Dark Magician of Chaos hits the field, use his effect to bring back Dimension Fusion. You'll go and use your Monster Reincarnation. You'll activate a Monster Reincarnation, discard any Dark Monster, get back your big scary Chaos Monster, banish these 2 from your graveyard, and then summon this guy. Then you will activate Dimension Fusion. This is going to special summon these 2, triggering this, allowing you to draw a card, and you can see how much advantage this generates. Thank you. Those were my 2 deck profiles, and yeah, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that.